Welcome to the Jim McLean lesson. This week's subject is the V gap, and it stands for a V that's made from a certain position in all top players. And it was the subject of an article I did for Golf Digest. It was a power secret right here on the cover. This is the article. What we're going to do is show you some dramatic footage and some dramatic pictures of what really happens in the golf swing. And I did this article with one of my master instructors, Michael Hunt. Michael did a lot of work on this. We do a lot of studies with all of my instructors, a lot of meetings that we do together, and we try to find out what's actually happening in a golf swing. And what we did here was really, we've known for many years and taught at our schools that the backswing is wider than the downswing. Michael and I worked on a little section of the swing to show you something, it's so dramatic. And let me pull up a great player right here, Sergio Garcia, who's been #1 on the PGA Tour in driving, total driving, and a very long hitter, not a big guy. And this is a recent picture of Sergio. This is not from years ago. This is last year's Doral CA Championship held right here at the Doral Resort. So this is Sergio at address, and I'm just going to pull the swing back to a certain point. And we take it back to this point right here, and I put a little green line on it right there. And we look at how much angle he has between his left arm and the club. And then what we did with probably 150 tour players is bring each of them to a certain position with their left arm and the hand, and we make a line on where the hand is. Then we come to the same position on the downswing and check to see how much angle is between the left arm and the club. So Sergio had a really big V gap, and let me just show you what that V gap is. So we go up to the top and we come back down and we stop the hand at the same place. Now, where is the shaft? Now see, that makes the V. That's a wide V right there. So that is the V gap. I'll do it a little bit back for you in slow motion here to right here. So we've got the hand in the same spot. And no cheating, it just shows you how unbelievable the difference is from where a tour player takes it on his backswing in relation to where the shaft is to where that shaft is on the downswing. Not a lot of amateurs do what the pros do. All right, I'm going to pull up another player. All right, now I pulled up Vijay Singh, and I stopped him right here at this section of the backswing, and at this section, we will draw a line on that shaft. So he's got his hand right there, and we draw the line on the shaft. So we actually have this line right here to that line. He's almost got a 90-degree angle going back. He has a little earlier wrist setting than Sergio, which I just showed you. So now we'll take him back, and I'm going to bring him right back to the same area right here, and you're going to see the gap with Sergio, with Vijay, and it's not as big as Sergio Garcia, but it's huge. It's huge. This V gap right here is tremendous, and this relates to power. Obviously, if you've got a tremendous setting of the golf club and as you start down, you've held off that angle, that's something to release on the way down. So I'll run that back real quick, and here he goes. Backswing, downswing, and this is our V, and we call it the V gap, and it's dramatic, it's huge. Now I just showed you two examples of really long hitters on the PGA Tour. I'm going to take someone who has a little less V gap, and that would be Freddie Funk, who's one of the straightest hitters on the PGA Tour. When he goes back, you're going to see more setting of the club. So we've got the club set right here. And I will draw a line on the shaft for Freddie right about here. And we come back to coming down. And now he's got a V. It's still good. It's better than, you know, almost anybody we watch at our golf schools. But it's not quite as big as, or not nearly as big as Vijay or Sergio Garcia that I just showed you. So what it tells me is the longer hitters have a bigger V gap. When we study, of course, hundreds of players, not just these several examples that I've showed you. Obviously, you can see Freddie looks great at this point. I mean, this is a wonderful looking move right here. It's just great. I love to watch Freddie play. But it does show you an example of a little less V gap of top players. And that would be someone that would maybe not hit the ball quite as far. However, he still has a V gap. Now, before I get up and do a demonstration here on the V gap, I thought I'd show you an average golfer or a high handicap golfer who's been here at Doral. And we're going to take him up to a backswing position, say right about there. And I'll draw the line on the shaft at this section right here. And then coming down, I'm going to bring him back down right there. And you can see, I don't see a V there. So that's the throwing action. You can see sort of the result as he comes down. He's released the club real early. And that's what it ends up looking like. It impacts. There's a lot of throw in that swing. So that's what I see with a lot of golfers. So I hope that's a vivid demonstration for you to see how different a power player is from someone that doesn't get distance, that tends to throw the club from the top. All right, let's review a few things, and I'll demonstrate a few ideas of the V-gap. One of the things you'd like to have to really drive the ball a long ways is some width in your backswing. So we see that in the longest drivers: Tiger Woods, Greg Norman, Jack Nicklaus, Anthony Kim. They have nice width here as they go back. Now you'll notice I put the golf bag here, and I'm going to use this golf bag to show you a big part of the V-gap. And what that is, on your backswing, you can put something that's nearby you to almost hit on your backswing. And as you go up to the top and start down, when you return to hit the golf ball, you're going to miss this bag by quite a bit. Maybe 8 or 10 inches at least inside this golf bag. What we don't want to have happen, which we see in many amateur golfers, is we come close to hitting the bag on the backstroke, go up to the top, and then when we start down, we stay back and throw the club and come close to, or maybe even hit that golf bag on the downswing. You don't narrow at all. Now, to explain the V-gap again a little bit better, when I get that club to about this section of my swing, I'm wide, there gets to be some wrist breaking, and maybe my club looks like that at this section of the swing. I go up to the top, and then there's some more setting as I get to the top. As I start down, that's the V-gap, this differential. Now, in order to actually sense and feel that width, one really great drill is a split grip drill. And that's when you separate your hands by several inches. Something like that. You've got a nice split there. It'll give you the feeling of a very long right arm and possibly a slightly shorter left arm when you set up. As you go away, you maintain this angle as you start away, or the idea of things staying together. You're not going to get any kind of flippy wristy. It's so easy to feel. As you take the club away, you'll feel some width going back. And then at this section of the swing, you let the club naturally hinge, and you set your angles at the top. Now when you start down, you maintain that as you transition from backswing to downswing. So the split grip gives you the feeling of nice width going back, the right hand staying away from the body. You're not going to turn it away this way. Let your arm come off your body. You're going to keep this angle together for your width. Take it up to the top, where you've set the golf club, you have your hands right underneath the shaft. What does that mean? When I go up this way, I've got that club going away from me, up to the top. I've got my thumbs underneath the shaft. So I've got that club in great shape. Now when I start down, I hold on to that angle, or just allow the arms to fall in conjunction with the shift. That's really narrowing your downswing by two things: not throwing the club from the top, using the hands too early, and also the lateral shift that moves you over to the front post. That's what's going to give you a gigantic V-gap. Now, maybe you won't get a huge V-gap, but I want to at least see some V-gap. And you must learn to narrow that downswing in order to gain a lot more power in your golf swing. That's what the V-gap is all about.